For the first time in a very long while, there seems to be a glimmer of hope for immigrants in the UK, especially regarding the ILR extension. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's find out in today's video. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching, so YouTube can recommend it to more people that needs to see it. So all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to this video. You're well appreciated. Just know that. And if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please click the subscribe button right now. Thank you. Of course, we all know that Keir Starmer has announced that he's resigning as Labour leader after all the political pressure, both internally and externally, because trust me, even internally within the Labour Party, there's been unrest, okay? And the Labour Party is now preparing for a leadership transition, right? Of course, they have to get another leader, you know, a new prime minister and all of that. And there's been speculations that Andy Burnham is likely going to become the new Labour leader, okay? He's going to become the new prime minister. So who is Andy Burnham? Everybody would ask, and how is it so important to this video that I'm making? Of course, we all know that anybody who becomes the prime minister or who becomes the leader has a role to play when it comes to immigration, and that's the one that concerns us, because we have all been seeing and hearing everything that different parties and their leaders have been saying, you know, all the plans that they have regarding immigration. We know the plans that the Green Party has, we know the plans that the Reform Party has, okay, we know the plans that the Conservative Party has, and we also know the plans that the Labour Party had, right? We don't know if it's going to stand or if the new leader is going to change anything. So on that note, there's this news I came across I would like to share with you. So here it says that Burnham could ditch tougher settlement rules for migrants already in the UK. Now, this news came after the Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that he's resigning, and obviously we are expected to have a new Prime Minister soon. And from everything we're seeing on the news so far, it's looking like Burnham is going to be the next, okay? So here it says Burnham could ditch tougher settlement rules for migrants already in the UK. Of course, as an immigrant, the next thing you're thinking is, what does it stand for? What does he think about immigration? What has always been his stance on tougher immigration rules? What does he think about this? Do you think he's going to continue and run with the plans that Labour has, or is he going to bring in something new? Is going to make changes? Is he going to halt the plans and everything, right? That's the question that you would naturally ask when you see a news like this. So when I came across it, I just thought to share, because this affects us as immigrants, and that is why we are always on the news to know what's going on, and trust me, to keep you guys updated. So here it says that Andy Burnham is considering watering down plans to implement the Home Secretary's hardline immigration reforms, according to allies, right? So under Shabana Mahmood's plans, the time it takes for most migrant workers to qualify for permanent residence will be doubled from 5 years to 10 years, and even 15 years, and then 20 years, and it will be applied retrospectively. That is, those already in the UK will be affected too. So from their plan, it means that those who are already here on the 5 years pathway would likely have to wait longer. Okay, so Mahmood insists the changes to the law, which are expected to be introduced in the autumn, are necessary because of the historically large numbers that arrived since 2021. Now, Rayner, among other Labour MPs, opposed to policy. We have seen that. I've even shared that news over and over here on this channel, how Angela Rayner has been one person, or has been amongst the people that have strongly opposed this retrospective arrangement, okay? So she says this would be not just bad policy, but a breach of trust, right? The people already in the system who make a huge investment now fear for their future. They do not have stability and do not know what will happen. So Burnham's ally says he shares her concerns and is looking again at the proposal to impose the changes retrospectively. He sees it as a matter of fairness and will not want to impose the changes retrospectively, said one source who is familiar with the discussions. And if you guys remember also the news about TAP, when the Home Secretary came out to call for this minister's sack, according to her, she said that something that they've been talking about and considering internally, that one of the ministers went to share it as his own. And what did he say exactly? He said that care workers should not have to wait longer to get citizenship because it was unfair, and that care workers had seen taking care of vulnerable people contributing massively. So making care workers to wait 15 years or to wait longer for ILR is actually very unfair, and that he stands against it. Shabana Mahmood said that he broke the ministerial code. So it could just mean one of these. Either that they've been talking about it and considering it, or that he said it and they opposed it or something, but we just have to wait. Now, remember guys, this does not suggest anything. No changes have been made. We're only reacting based on the news before us. Just feel like with everything going on right now, with the resignation, the fact that even the new person that they're considering is also saying the same thing, that is unfair. And internally within the same Labour Party, some people are also strongly speaking against it, okay? And some of them are even going as far as calling for Shabana Mahmood to withdraw, like should just desist from this tight immigration rules because it's quite unfair. Okay, now if you continue reading, right, a source close to Burnham described the claim as speculation and said he was yet to make a decision. So migration will be a key test for Burnham if he becomes prime minister, obviously, because guys, migration is a hot topic. Like, it just feels like if you miss it, or if you make one policy that the people don't like regarding immigration, you're either going to be loved or disliked. And trust me, so far from what I've observed, I feel like it is even one of the top topics when it comes to UK politics. And it feels like if you fail in this aspect, then that's a problem, because this is one of the major reasons why Keir Starmer was asked to resign. You know how Reform won, majority of the seats during the last local elections? This was one of the reasons why Labour started putting pressure on him to resign, because they felt if he stayed there, Labour might not stand a chance of winning the next general election. So although Burnham's by-election campaign is Merker-field, where immigration was one of the key issues, is understood to have shifted his views on the Home Secretary's reforms. He has criticized them previously. Okay, now he said last year that doubling the time it takes for migrants to qualify for indefinite leave to remain would leave people in a sense of limbo and unable to integrate. So these were his words according to this news that we're reading right now. However, in the days after his by-election victory, he said he backed the brown thrust of her reforms, but he also appeared to suggest there could be some changes to ease the impact on foreign nationals who have been in the UK for several years. So when somebody who is likely to become the next prime minister is speaking like this, then it could just mean that there is hope. Because for a long time now, every migrant yet to get ILR have lived in panic, uncertainty, because you don't know what their decision is going to be regarding this. As migrants, we only can do what we can do. Okay, there's a limit to what we can do, which we have done, right? You can only speak out, talk about how it's going to affect us, talk about the implications, the negative impact it's going to have on us, even sign petitions, fill consultations, but that's the most that we can do. Everything is still up to the government. And that is why we are really concerned about who the next prime minister is going to be, because whoever it is obviously will play a major role on what the outcome would become. And just seeing that Burnham has a different opinion from what the Home Secretary already has is just a breath of fresh air. Just knowing that he has a different opinion or different view regarding these harsh laws, just feels right. And they're also saying that many Labour MPs are critical of Mahmood's reforms. Burnham will need to look tough on migration while not alienating the party he has just reunited. So a lot of people are obviously opposing these tough rules as well. And from the news also, it looks like the Home Secretary is also considering it as well, you get, because from what I saw that Guardian published, it says that Mahmood also requires to stay in her job if Andy becomes prime minister. So she's also considering these things that they are all saying just so that she regains her seat. Okay, she's trying to water down some of the harsh policies that she has, because at the end of the day, everything is still politics. right? And that was also the same thing they said about TAP, that everything he's doing is just to be in the good books of Andy Burnham, because this is what he thinks, and you have to think the way he's thinking so that he would consider you, right? So here it says that with Burnham set to take over in number 10 next month, Mahmoud has been attempting to soften some of her hardline plans, including reassessing separate proposals to make migrants wait 10 years instead of 5 years for indefinite leave to remain. So you guys see why I think there's just a ray of hope. Something good might come out of all of this at the end of the day. So fingers crossed. Okay, nothing is certain yet. We're just talking based on what we have on ground. Now, moving on, sources in Burnham's camp said Mahmoud is most likely to stay in the Home Office, but cabinet jobs are yet to be nailed down. The broad thrusts of the Home Secretary's immigration plans are backed by Burnham, although he has previously suggested he has reservations about the indefinite leave to remain changes applying to migrants already in the UK. So this is like the bone of contention right now. This is what everybody's talking about. Will they apply it retrospectively or not? And so far we have seen that majority of people internally are already even opposing it. Now, this is not about external factors or migrants anymore. This is about the people within the same party, the people in government. When some people begin to oppose and say, oh, we don't think this is right, we don't think this is fair, then there might just be a probability that they're considering it, strongly. So, and within the party, we could see on the news that a lot is going on internally, right? So someone is even saying that Mahmoud should be removed, okay? Remove Home Secretary Mahmoud and rip up her asylum plans, says Al-Dobbs. So we could see that because of all of this, that she has been attempting to soften some of her hardline plans, and she has been involved in talks to exempt care workers from the proposed changes. You see that she has been involved in talks to exempt care workers. So it means they are actually talking about it. Burnham is widely expected to become the Prime Minister as soon as 17th of July. And asked if Mahmoud should remain in post, Dobbs told The Guardian, I think her talents will be better used elsewhere in cabinet to allow the new Prime Minister free rein to put his own stamp on asylum and immigration policy. So at a time when the party needs unity, I do not believe that Shabana Mahmoud's policy represents the right approach. So he continues that this is Andy Burnham's opportunity to correct some of the mistakes that the Starmer government made as regards asylum seekers and refugees. So the proposed changes to indefinite leave to remain, for instance, which would apply retrospectively to people who came here in good faith, according to the rules, are simply unjust and should be reconsidered. So it's looking like there's hope, right? On that note, I want to encourage everybody watching this video right now. It could look like there's uncertainty, the cost of living, things are not going so well as planned and everything. That's understandable. But you can actually do something about it. You don't just have to fold your hands. And that is why I encourage everybody to get a side hustle, to get something doing on the side, to give you extra source of income. Have something going for you that can give you money outside your regular job. Okay, so I'll be hosting a free webinar and inviting everybody watching this video on the 10th of July at 8:30 p.m. It's a free webinar where I'll be teaching you different side hustles. Since I came to understand this, it's working for me, and I just want to show you how, because over here we don't keep information. Whenever I come across something that helps, I want to share. It's helping me tremendously, and I know that you can benefit from it. Whatever your circumstance or situation is right now, you have so much responsibilities and it's weighing you down. You don't have to be there. You can actually do something about it, because nobody is coming to save you. You are the only person that can get yourself out of that situation. Okay, so learn a skill. With your phone, only your phone, you can actually make money for yourself. And I'm going to be teaching you different side hustles, more than 10 of them, that you can actually pick from and start doing to earn extra money for yourself. Okay, I'm going to leave the link to join my WhatsApp group in the description box. There I'll be sharing further details. Okay, so yeah, that is it, guys, for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to hear what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.